All right, we're live for Fireside Chat number 124. Let's see. We can dive into happening lately. Another not too crazy week. Calendar's up for October. Should have hit on that last time. I believe actually I put it together during, I did that during court last week. So that's up there. Let's see. I believe I already touched on the color coordinated roles, but that is a thing. If you go through looking at the role list, you can see that they're all color coordinated, which I think is kind of nice. As far as other stuff going on, let's see. One thing I just tried, this was pretty recently. If you check out Mark's gallery, I'm kind of experimenting with changes to Mark boards, seeing what else can be done with those, because I think Marks are a pretty cool thing, and I'd like for them to be kind of have a more active role in WA again. They've kind of faded away for a little while. So I'm kind of looking at different things that you can do, and one of those is what I just posted right there, which is I simply extended the background to be behind the name as well, just using mine as the example there. So that increases that resolution just a little bit, which is nice, simply because a lot. It was a 600 by 200 originally was the image size there, and I extended that later with the white bar at the bottom there, which is for emblems. And so that changes it to 600 by 250, which is still a bit weird. With the or sorry, it was originally 600 by 100 was the original, and then that gradually has grown. If you have, for example, 3 rows, you do 600 by 150. That kind of became the standard. And then when you have the 3 rows and the white bar for the emblems, 600 by 200, 50 pixels is that vertical size for the marks. So if you have a row 600 pixels wide, 50 pixels high, that gets you 12 marks in there. 50 pixels, they're 50 by 50 is what all the marks are. Um, and so just gradually increasing that. So then now if you look at mine, for example, this is actually going to be a 600 by 250 with a white bar at the top behind the name, and then of course the white bar at the bottom behind the emblems. So that kind of provides a little bit more room. And I had some other ideas too. Potentially, you could even increase this further, add a few more rows, make it like a 600 by 400, something like that. Um, and then you could, for example, have each row be categories of marks. I want to redo the mark guides a little bit. Um, we'll see what I can come up with exactly, but I'd just like them to be a little bit even more organized if possible by categories and have some maybe subcategories like, for example, chapters back from the first Imperium era. You'll might see some of those in some people's mark boards, so you've got that in there. Organizing things like, for example, festivals slash celebrations, looking at kind of Yule, Festival of Hope, looking at, for example, all the House Commander festivals, that kind of deal. So most likely once that's done, I'll try to kind of make an announcement and reach out to people as far as trying to get people the marks that they should have and making new mark boards if people want them. So shout out to the Marks Gallery channel. At the top, there is a link to a mark requests. So make sure you fill that out. It's just a little bit down. If you scroll down at the top is the Marks Gallery, and right below that there's a link to a Google Doc spreadsheet where you can request marks and mark boards and everything like that. So go ahead and fill that out if you haven't. If you just need like one mark or you're not sure or whatever. But I will probably announce that again in the future. Another idea I had was having multiple types of mark boards depending on which one people like. So the one option would be a vertical mark board, which would probably be something like if you imagine taking one of these mark boards and flipping it on its side and then adding a second one right next to it. So what you would probably have is something like those white bars would cover half, like we'll say the left half, and you'll have all the marks there. Probably another white bar on top with the name, and then on the right half would just be the background. I mean, you'd probably have the background image covering the entire thing, but it'd just be more visible on the right side. And potentially that could even add more options. Like, I had some ideas for different types of marks to the point that like we could have different sizes of marks that might signify different things. For example, if we wanted to kind of order some of the marks by importance, maybe make the emblems bigger or create something like a different word that's not marks and then use that to kind of as some other system of achievement or reward, that kind of deal. So just some ideas I had that I was kind of brainstorming. Other than that, though, I think that's about it. Let me double check if there's anything else. Let's see. Oh yeah, posting re-recruitment dates in roll call. Um, so generally speaking, I think posting if somebody returns, posting that in recruits is fine. But the current policy in laws is just that if somebody returns, the date needs to be tracked by their warband leadership. So somebody needs to inform the warband leadership if they're not already aware, so that they can put that in the situation report. But beyond that, I mean, if people want to keep track of it further, that's fine. Obviously, it will be back there in the documentation if we ever need it. But I think posting recruitment dates in like roll calls and stuff like that every single month is not really necessary. Just because what if somebody leaves and comes back like multiple times? Then it's going to start being a complete mess. And I appreciate keeping track of that stuff. That's why I like to have it in the sit rep so we can always go back and reference it. But I think just keeping track of the original recruitment date is pretty much all we need. Let's see. I was considering kind of looking at any way we can better organize the server's channels. I know we already kind of had the big reorganization with the Fourth Fleet, but I was just kind of looking at combining stuff since we do still have a lot of categories. We'll see. I have one or two ideas there, but of course, as always, and I'll post this in events afterwards. But there is a Google form where you can submit ideas and questions and stuff like that for Fireside. So I will post that one sec. All right. Yeah. Or of course, you can always just talk in Discord about it, or ping me, DM me, anything like that. But yeah, I'll go ahead and sign off, and we should be back next week for Fireside Chat number 125.